I knew they were going to put me first. How you doing, Ty?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I guess I got to ask the same question I asked a couple weeks ago. Just how's the hamstring coming along? You're down to about a little over a week. I guess probably 10 days before you got to get out there. How are you feeling? Basically, what are you able to do as far as training is concerned coming into this thing?
Yeah, body feels great. This is the first week I've really touched the basketball since the season's ended. I've been doing 2 days for the last 3 days now, and today will be the fourth. But there's no concern about my body from anybody in our organization, so that's exciting. And yeah, hamstring feels good overall. Body feels good, so I'm excited.
We'll go ahead.
Hey, Ty. Was there ever any question with you and your hamstring? 'Cause I know you were pretty sore towards the end of the playoffs, obviously. So when did you turn the corner, if there was a corner to be turned?
I just knew, obviously through our playoff run, I knew that after the season, no matter when it ended, I would take some time to just rest because obviously before this second hamstring injury in the playoffs. Obviously, I'd been dealing with, the previous hamstring injury, and that was really giving me problems for, ever since that happened. So I knew I wanted to take rest, and then, it happened again. So kind of the rest was already going to happen regardless. Um, I'll be honest, I think when it happened against Boston, and I knew I wouldn't play the rest of the series, there was a little bit of concern for me. But I think that our medical team just did a great job of reassuring me that they had faith that I would be fine for this moment, and if I did the appropriate things, kind of balancing rest, but at the same time strengthening it as well. Because I took time off from basketball. I didn't touch a basketball for 3 weeks, but trying to do movement strengthening as well because you got to kind of do all of it. So I feel confident about it, and I would say over the last like 2 weeks. I mean, ever since they said they didn't have concerns, so that allowed me not to really have any. And now that I'm really touching the basketball, moving a lot, I don't really have any concern.
Okay, thank you. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll go to Brian from Talksport.
Hi, Steve Kerr was just mentioning the potential, the having LeBron James and Steph Curry on the same Olympic team. That they're going to be in an All-Star game. That's obviously a completely different environment. You're around those guys a lot. You know how talented they are, but when they're actually going to be part of this team and you're playing with them on the court in Paris against the best players in the world, what do you think that's going to bring out of them?
Well, I just expect them to be, who they are, two of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball. I'm excited to be around them, pick their brains. Just everybody 1 through 12. I think we got a lot of great minds on the team. I'm the second youngest dude on the team, along with Ant. So, my plan is just to pick brains as much as possible, see how these guys work, see their routines, all that stuff. So, I'm excited to be around those guys. And, I expect with those two guys, KD, I mean, just top to bottom, I expect them to just do what they do and be great. So I'm excited to be around it.
All right, we'll go on to Zora next.
Hi, Tyrese. Zora Stevenson with NBC. Excited to cover you all. Based on your conversations with like coaches, and I know the guys talk, like what part of your game are you most excited to bring to this team?
Well, no question. It's just, facilitating, passing the ball. I joked around last year with Grant Hill, like I'm trying to be Jason Kidd. I'm not trying to see how long I can go without shooting the ball. But I'm just trying, I mean, played with all those great scorers, being on the court with all them, just trying to facilitate as much as I can, get those guys the ball, especially early in transition, how elite scorers we have and elite players. I think that's where, my game will excel the best with this team. So I'm excited to do that.
Thank you.
David Garcia.
Hi, David from Spain. Tyrese, Steve Kerr just said that the level of international basketball has improved a lot. Have you, as a player, started studying other international teams like France or Germany or Spain even?
You said, have I started what? I'm sorry.
How other international teams play, like Spain?
Yeah, I think playing last year is good for me to kind of get experience watching these teams, playing these teams. All those things were really good for me last season. Kind of having played USA basketball last year, so I'm excited to go into this year with some guys who haven't played USA basketball in a little bit for some time, and I'm sure Coach Kerr is going to ask me to say, oh, recall the game of when we played these guys and what do you remember, things like that. Just kind of remembering, my knowledge of these teams. So yeah, I'm looking forward to competing against everybody.
Thank you.
Tim Reynolds.
Tyrese, I remember last summer, it was obviously disappointing for all 12 of you guys, but I think you took it probably as hard as anybody of the 12, not ripping anyone. I'm just saying, I just think you took it super, super hard. What did this call from Grant? What is this opportunity to get back and wear the USA again so quickly? What's it mean to you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Obviously, last year we didn't do what we wanted to do, and that was frustrating because anytime you put on, anytime you get to represent USA basketball, expectation is to win, and we weren't able to do that. And I think I think it was general frustration from just having lost for so long, and I think that kind of carried into this year, where I had my most successful NBA season yet. And so, coming back this year with USA basketball, I know we don't have any other expectation than to win. So being here with these guys, it means the world to me. Grant coming here and doing it in person, and that meant the world. It was really cool, and I'm just excited to be out there. I'm excited that it's me and Ant coming back. Obviously, Ant's a good friend of mine, so I'm excited that it's both of us from last year's team that kind of get to play a part in kind of avenging ourselves from the previous year. So I'm just excited about it overall. Excited to be with guys I've looked up to my whole life, and play alongside them.
Christos.
Hey Tyrese, hope you're doing well. Speaking about last season in Manila, what did you learn about that experience, about the international basketball and going to the Olympics? How bad you want to win a gold medal with the Team USA?
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned a lot last year. I think playing USA basketball before when I was like 19, I think you understand that, it's one game that could determine, results. And at the same time, USA basketball, because we are, have been over the last however many years, kind of the gold standard of basketball, you're going to get every team's best shot, and understanding that people want to see you lose and they want to, bring their best game. And so, like I recall the Lithuania game last year, they shot the lights out. They were unbelievable. And all it takes is one game, guys to get hot, and things can turn quick. So just trying to use that, to the best of my ability to, be aware of that. And what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry, Christos.
How bad you want to win the gold medal?
Oh yeah, more than anything. Obviously, last year we spent like a month, 40 days together, and I left with nothing. I left with a great experience, good friends, good relationships. But we go at the end of the day to win a medal. So the gold medal is, we don't have any other expectation. That's, that's our goal, and that's what we want to do. So I'm excited to compete for it.
We'll go to Scott, please. Fieldhouse 5.
Yeah, hey Tyrese, I'm curious if you've taken any time to maybe visualize what this experience could be like for you, and even more to that, have you thought from a basketball standpoint about how all these different pieces will fit together for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, for me, just envisioning, I really look at it as just such a learning experience to like pick brains and ask questions. And, I think that's how I always am around great players, but kind of getting to really be around these guys for a significant amount of time. I just want to learn as much as I can. Anytime I'm around any vets, whether that's teammates I played with or just being at the All-Star game or whatever that is, I just try to ask as many questions as I can, learn about, situations that were happening when I wasn't in the league, like, things that were happening with guys, but also, routines and how guys have, been able to sustain success for so long. So I look forward to, picking brains and things like that. And then, as far as how this team's going to work together, it's obviously USA basketball. We're all very great players in our own rights, and, are all on different franchises and help lead franchises. But obviously, everybody knows USA basketball takes sacrifice, and we got a lot of great players, a lot of great people. So I don't really have any negative thoughts about how the team's going to work. I really feel like we got a lot of guys who are going to play the right way, understand that we all want to win, and so I'm sure that we got 1 through 12 just doing whatever they can to help us win. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, next we'll go to Guille Alvarez.
Hi, Tyrese. Thank you for your time. I wanted to ask you, you kind of said this a bit maybe, but what was the biggest lesson from last year's World Cup? Like, what was the key takeaway for you personally, maybe as a team? You also spoke about it.
Yeah, I mean, just referred to it a little bit earlier. I think just understanding that it's one game could really impact whatever happens. It's not like the NBA where in the playoffs we get 7-game series and get the feel out, kind of throughout a series. It's really one game, and anything can happen in that one game if all it takes is one guy to get hot, a couple guys to get hot, and things can change. And you got to understand, playing for USA, like everybody wants to beat you. USA basketball being the gold standard of basketball for a long time. You're going to get every team's best shot. So, I'm just excited to be a part of that again.
Thank you.
Do a few more here. Vincent, go ahead.
Hi, Tyrese. Vincent Piala from the French media Le Parisien. What represents for you the fact the Olympics take place in France, in Paris this year? Is it special for you? And do you think Paris is the reason Team USA is able to bring all these stars this year at the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Paris is a destination that a lot of people, want to be able to go to. I've never been to Paris. I went to Paris last week for the first time. Last week, yeah, for my first time. I went for Fashion Week. I was out there. My mom, my dad, my girl are all coming, so everybody's super excited to go to Paris. Obviously, it's a destination that I'm sure everybody wants to go to growing up or just in their life at some point to see it. So I'm excited that all my family gets to come. And then I think, yeah, I mean, it being in Paris is definitely a perk. You know what I mean? I think that definitely encourages guys to go and help get guys to go. But at the end of the day, I think, it's an opportunity to represent USA basketball. We could play in Indiana, and I think we could get all 12 guys to show up. You know what I mean? I think that people would have no problem, competing, helping USA win a gold medal. So, I think the prospect of playing in Paris is exciting, but I think we would get that anywhere.
Thank you.
Tyler, go ahead.
Tyrese, what are you looking forward to most about playing alongside Tatum and Holiday, especially the fact that you just went up against them in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think just everybody, top to bottom, I'm excited to play with them. I'm sure I can only imagine Drew and Jason will be talking, but they should be. They won a championship, so I'm sure that there will be a lot of banter, top to bottom. I can only imagine what it will be like, with everybody, not just those guys, just with everybody. But I think that's the fun with it. I think that was the fun last year. Me growing so close with Josh Hart and Mikhail and Brunson, and then playing those guys in the playoffs. And same with Bobby and playing Milwaukee. Like, I think that banter is what makes USA basketball so fun, is that we know we're all together for, whatever it is, 45 days, but we know come back to the United States, we're all competing again, and so I think that's a great part of USA basketball.
Shanti?
Hi, Tyrese. You sort of touched on it earlier, but obviously in a normal NBA season, there's so many things you can achieve on a team at a personal level. If you went all the way and won a gold medal in the Olympics, how would that compare to, say, what you can achieve in like a normal domestic season?
Yeah, I mean, I think winning a gold medal is, the top of the sport. That an NBA championship, I don't think anything that you can do individually can trump those, because we played this game to win. You know what I mean? So I think that's the great part, that I get the opportunity to do this and compete for a gold medal, and then hopefully have that opportunity to compete for a championship again next year, and as my career goes on. So I think winning is the peak of the sport, and winning a gold medal is right up there, at the top of it.
Great, thank you.
Michael?
Yes, Tyrese, I wanted to ask you, playing in this circumstance can be a little bit thankless because the standard is so high. You win or you fail is kind of where you are. Why have you embraced it in the way that you have, doing last summer and then this summer as well?
Well, I think that the greats before me, like, I mean, how can you not? How can you not want to do this? Like, we watch our role models and guys that we look up to represent USA basketball, and I knew I wanted to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that because people I looked up to were part of that, and the people they looked up to were part of that. And I think that's the great part about USA basketball is, you're right, there is a gold standard. It's especially in the United States, it's gold medal or you failed. But I think that pressure is good for us. That pressure is exciting. Like, I think we're all competitors. We all want to win. So, I think there's some guys on our team who, they deal with that every postseason as well. It's win or it was a failure, and so I think that's just a part of, the public perception and a part of us as competitors. And I want to be a part of that. And I think I was at the reveal of, or the premiere of Redeem Team, the D Wade documentary. And me and D Wade talked after that, and I was like, man, I got to be a part of it. And then, like, I want to do this so bad. I already knew I wanted to do it, but I think like seeing that, it just gives you goosebumps. Like, you want to be a part of it. And then got the opportunity last year, and I was really hoping that I got the opportunity this year as well. And I mean, I've told Grant, I've said it many times, like, I want to represent USA basketball, for as long as I can. If I can play in multiple Olympics moving forward, that would be awesome. But I'm really just focused on right now and what we can do this year. And I think that's the great part about it, is it's going to be a lot of fun.